Let's go, guys. Chapter 3 is out, and now it's time to talk about everything you need to know. Whole new map, lots of new weapons, there's a new sliding mechanic. I'm going to talk through everything, what it means for competitive, and what is likely to be the strongest meta, and just my general thoughts about how this game is going to turn out with what we've been given. Hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, make sure to like and subscribe. Let's get right to it. First, let's talk about the red dot assault rifle. This is a really interesting mechanic, and this thing absolutely fries. But to have a third-person shooter where your FOV is behind the character, then to zoom in and look through the dot sight is a really interesting concept that we haven't seen yet. This thing puts out insane amounts of damage as you see me fry this guy here and multiple other players in these clips. I'm not the best player in the world, but it was really easy to do this, and we'll have to see how and if this weapon changes at all before we dive into tournaments. It could use a slight nerf compared to the other Ranger assault rifle. The Ranger reminds me of the old AK, but not really as good, especially when you have a dot sight, automatic first shot accuracy zooming in AR in the dot sight or the MK assault rifle. Now, we'll see how this plays out, but I would expect everyone to pick up the red dot over the Ranger, and this is how it's been playing out early on in the season. The damage difference is insignificant, especially because of the fire rate of the MK and the accuracy. Now let's talk about the shotgun meta and what seems like it's really just going to be a spray SMG plus AR meta. From what I've seen early on, the shotguns aren't super powerful and cannot one-hit opponents that have full HP. What this means is it is a spray meta, and people love the SMGs. They have a super high fire rate, a large amount of damage output, especially the higher rarities you go. And if we look at the shotgun comparison, the auto shotty versus striker pump shotgun, I don't really see a huge difference between the two. I think people are currently preferring the striker, especially because it seems the auto shotty has a decent delay after pullout, especially when editing, so that's going to be a big advantage for the striker at the moment. We'll see if the damage gets buffed a little bit to make it a little more powerful, but from what I've seen, really the key is going to be spraying medium range AR shots and tags, and then using an SMG close range, especially for you controller players like myself, really getting in the box and using those SMGs. Likely see some balance changes as things go on, but at the moment, shotguns are not the play. If you're like me, you love to use sniper rifles, and they are back. There doesn't appear to be a one-hit sniper, so 198 with the gold to the head is going to be the most damage you could do. There was a mythic initially put in the game, but it has not been added to the competitive playlist, so that's kind of nice. But at the same time, there is 3 shots in the sniper as opposed to a single shot, and reload can allow you to put out much more damage in a quick amount of time. And we'll see how the snipers play out, but I would think they're going to be prominent in this meta. Now I want to talk about the sliding mechanic. This is going to be a piece that really pushes the skill level up higher and higher than it was before. We've seen this in games such as Call of Duty or Apex Legends. Even now in Halo has the sliding mechanic. We haven't seen it in Fortnite. Now in Chapter 3 it is in the game, and you can not only slide, but you can build, you can edit, you can shoot, do everything that you normally can while sliding. This will be really interesting to see how players and different creators find awesome ways to use this and really push the meta, the skill ceiling, even higher to this new mechanic. I am not the best, but I've shown you Raiders clips. He's going to be a lot better. Some of these other creative monsters are going to be putting on shows with these, so I'll be interested to see how it plays out. And you could lower the time it takes in order to slide if you simply go here real quick. It's a nice little tip that I found and is going to help you slide faster. Those were the 2 major gameplay changes that I've found thus far. One of the other big changes, as I'm sure you all know, is the map. We're seeing a huge new map, all new, some old spots, but everything has been switched up, and thus far I really like the map. I do think there's going to be some really strong mountainous areas that you can hold in the game of a competitive match, but we'll see exactly how that plays out. There's a few new heal items. We have some new movement as well. Quad crashers are back. We'll see some players do some crazy things with quads. Then we also have a 100% llama spawn right at this area. I have found it really consistent down there. Nothing that has changed, so I don't know if that's gonna stay for now, but we'll see how it goes. Then a couple of other pieces that I want to mention are going to be the reboots have changed, so it's slightly longer to reboot a single person than it is to reboot 2 people. I don't know why this is, I don't know if this is on purpose, but that's how it works. Additionally, instead of just being spawned right on top of the reboot van, you're actually spawned from a rift right above the reboot van, and you have the ability to move around. So this is going to make it a little more dynamic when rebooting teammates, especially if you're contested in that area, so your teammate can kind of dip, dodge, and duck, go find a little spot, you know, get some loot rather than just spawning in one position that your opponent's going to know exactly where you're at. You're not going to spawn too much higher, but you'll be all right. You'll figure it out. People will start to figure it out. The other thing is you can stack different reses. So if you're healing someone off the ground, you can actually heal 2 people at once, which I find really interesting and something that people have been trying to do for a long time. I don't know if this is going to stay in the game, if this is on purpose, but it is currently in the game. So try that out if you have 2 teammates down. It is duos for the most part, so this is not really a huge difference for the competitive play, but if there's any trios tournaments, that will be helpful for you. The final thing that I want to mention is going to be the no shakedowns. So you can't shake an opponent down like you could and find where the opposing teammates are. This is actually a really significant change, considering it'll make it much harder to chase down the final player on a team or the final couple of players if you just get one elimination. It really makes it more dynamic. The fights are going to be less consistent without you knowing where the opponents are. So we'll see how that plays out over the next few weeks. Again, this is just the initial thoughts, the initial gameplay. Likely there's going to be changes, some balance updates, maybe even some different weapons and items added. So enjoy it while it is now. Play the game, figure it out. Tell me down below in the comments what you like, what you don't like about this season, and what you would change if you could. I might make a video about some balance changes. I might not. Follow me on Twitter. Probably post those on there instead. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful day. I'm Somebody's Gun, and I'll see y'all next time.